What's up, puppeteers? It's Christina Jane back at it with another video. So for today's video, I'm going to be dipping into the Dream Street palette by Kathleen Lights and Colourpop. This is what it looks like. It's really pretty, and I've had this palette for a little bit now, but I never knew the person who created it, Kathleen Lights, was a YouTuber. So I recently found her on YouTube, watched one of her videos. She's very cool and very good at what she does. And I thought it would be an interesting video to recreate one of her looks because it's really cool to recreate something that the artist of the makeup palette designed it to be. So I don't know, I just wanted to do it for you guys, and it seemed like a really fun video and also a really good look because it uses blue, and I don't use a lot of blue in my eyes except for that one time that Trevor did my makeup. Anyways, so if you want to see this video, then please keep watching. My face is already prepped, primed, moisturized, and ready to go. So I'm diving into my Juvia's Places I Am Magic foundation. I'm just putting some all over my face like you see on the screen here, and then blending it in with my beauty blender. I really like this foundation because you've seen it multiple times before in my other videos, but this is full coverage, and what you get for the price is definitely worth it. When I'm blending it in, I'm using these patting motions. I'm not dragging because that will create lines and we do not want those. So then I'm going in with the Juvia's Places I Am Magic concealer, just in places that I need extra help or would like to put more highlight onto it, because it's very important to do that with your concealer. And then I'm also going to take my beauty blender and kind of blend it all out like I did with the foundation. When I'm blending, I'm going from the inner parts of the face to the outer parts to make sure that it's nice and blended. And then I'm going to go in with my Rimmel Stay Matte powder with a very light hand, just putting it under my cheeks, under my eyes, and above my chin. This just makes it stay in place, and I'm going to do my brows and prime my lids off camera. I'm back, and my brows are looking much better than whenever I had no brows. And now I'm going into the Dream Street palette, dipping into the first shade. This is the Shooting Star shade, and it's a nice brownish color for the transition shade. I'm putting a fluffy brush, putting in my crease, using windshield wiping motions to make sure that it's really in there. This process does take a long time because I'm making sure that it's nice and blended whenever I want it to be, and this is just setting the groundwork for what is about to be on top of it. So make sure you take your time with this part. I also use circular motions whenever I want to blend it out even more, just on the ends so that it's nice and blended. Now I'm going to go in with another fluffy brush with the shade Elfish. I'm just putting this on my outer crease and outer V just to make sure that it deepens out and gives it more of a dimension look. And I think that this color is really pretty. It is a little too dark for my liking, but for this look that I'm about to do, it works. Now with a smaller, denser brush, I'm dipping into this Water Bearer color. This is very scary for me because I normally never use blues on my lids. So I'm just using circular motions and putting it right on top of wherever I put the Elfish color, and just really making sure that it's blended nice and seamlessly with the browns. And this takes a little bit. Just use those circular motions that we've been using throughout this entire time. And I like to drag some onto my lids as well, just to make sure that it's blended there. Now I'm going to go cut the crease off camera. Once you have cut the crease, I dip into the Kaleidoscope shade with a flat brush and really pack it on there. I like doing the packing motions instead of sliding because I feel like you get more payout with the shade whenever you do these packing motions, and I like it much better. Now I'm going to dip my finger into the Mermaid Boy shade. This will act like a transition between the Water Bearer and the Kaleidoscope shape, as it is a shimmery color and also blue. Now I'm going to blend it all together with my Morphe brush. This just makes sure there's no fine lines. It's time to take off my powder so I can do my under eyes. And for my under eyes today, I'm going to dip into the Shooting Star shade and Elfish shade with this tiny little brush here and just drag it underneath. This really completes the look so that it's nice on top and nice on bottom as well. This takes us to our next step, which is the lashes. I'm just gonna do my mascara and false eyelashes off camera. I'm back with false lashes and looking better than ever, so I'm going to dip into this Moony shade with a small flat brush and just pop it in the inner corners as well as on my brow bone, just to give my eyes a little more extra oomph for this look. Now I'm going in with my Hoola bronzer and carving out the cheeks. I like to do this really slowly, but also kind of aggressively, as you guys can see there. And this really takes my cheeks and slims it down so that I don't look as chubby. You guys know that I really like this bronzer because it is a perfect shade match for me. Maybe a little too dark, but I think it works. I also do underneath my jawline to make sure that my jawline is visible, and then on top of my forehead so that my forehead doesn't look too big. And then I go in with a smaller brush and contour the ends of my nose, the edges of my nose, and just make sure that my nose is not flat. Now I'm going in with my favorite blush. It's the Milani Coracle brush. I just literally put a few strokes of blush on there because I do not like blush that much. Now I'm going in with my Ofra Signature palette and dipping into that first shade and putting it right in the tops of my cheeks as well as the bridge of my nose to give it an extra highlight. And to blend it all together, I'm using my Total Face brush by e.l.f. This really helps so it looks nice and blended because that is the #1 rule in makeup. Now I'm going to prime my lips with the lip primer by Beauty. This is really cool because I never had a lip primer before, so thank you, Trevor's mom. And now, after we are finished with priming our lips, I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Nude Lust shade. I really like this nude shade because it's nude with a slight hint of pink, which is perfect. To set it all down, I'm going with my MAC Fix Plus and just spraying my face down. So I did want to talk about the palette and what my thoughts are on the palette. Overall, it's really good quality. It's Colourpop quality, so sometimes you really have to work on putting a lot of product on your face whenever you want that vivid color to show, but I think it's really good for its price. If you put the right primer on, you can obviously put on the eyeshadows and it will give a really nice and vivid look. For the colors itself, the Shooting Star shade is actually one of my favorite transition shades ever in all my palettes. I just keep reaching for it over and over. It's such a good match to my skin tone and it's really beautiful to work with. So I definitely love that. I really liked how Kathleen Lights included some of these blues as well as a pink, because normally in most palettes you either see blues or pinks. You don't really see both in there unless you get a really big palette. So I really like that there's a wide variety of colors in this palette that you can do multiple different looks with. She does a lot of different videos about how you can use this palette in multiple ways, from getting a natural look with the Shooting Star shade or going a little bit more pinky with this Spark shade to go into a blue shade that I did for you guys today. I personally really like inner corner highlight and also brow bone highlight a lot. I like it to be really sparkly, really shiny and out there. The only shade that I see here that could be an inner corner highlight is the Moony color here, and this might work for some people. I'm just not a fan of it because I think it's too dull to be an inner corner pop-up highlight. But overall, I think I'm really happy with it, mostly because I found her YouTube channel and I found the way that she intended this palette to be used. I feel like for most palettes, you don't really get to see how looks are intended to be whenever the person created the palette. So I was able to watch that and see what colors she wanted to go together and where she wanted to be put, and I thought it was really cool because you could really see that there's a wide range of things that you can do with this palette, and I really enjoyed that. As for fallout, I'm a very big person on fallout. If I see fallout, I don't like it, especially when it's on my face. It's really hard to work with, it's really annoying, and I just don't like it. For fallout, usually I find that Colourpop palettes don't have that much fallout except for the glittery shades. This is the same thing. there wasn't that much fallout whenever I was playing with it and using it, so I really liked that. So this concludes my short review about this palette. If you want to purchase it, it is online on the Colourpop website. Otherwise, you can try to pick it up at Ulta or anywhere you find it. And that, guys, is the finished look for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I normally don't wear that much blue on my eyeshadows, but it turned out okay. So if you like what you saw, then make sure you click that like button down below. Also, leave a comment down below if you have any future video ideas that you would like to see me do. And last but not least, please hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with my makeup venture. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!